Hello students, in this video we will be discussing your third chapter, fiber to fabric. So in ancient times, people living in cold places, they used to cover their bodies with animal fur. Animals have fur in their body. In Assamese, গাত তোমাৰ নোম থাকে animal বিলাকৰ দীঘল দীঘল. So in cold places, people used to cover their bodies with animal fur. Then as time went by, people realized that the fleece or simply the hair in animal body could be used to make wool. Now animals like sheep, goats, camels, then they were domesticated, and then their hair was used to make wool. So you already know that there are different types of fibers. We get cotton fiber from trees, then we get wool, silk from animals. Cotton and wool is extracted from the hair or fleece of animals. Then silk, we get it from caterpillar cocoons. Then polyester and nylon, they are synthetic fibers. They are made in factories. Now if you burn cotton, which is obtained from tree, it will burn, the burning smell will be like pepper. And then if you burn wool, then the burning smell will be like hair, because wool is obtained from animal hair, animal fleece. And if you burn wool, the smoke will be shooty, SOOTY, shooty flame, মানে বহুত কলা কলা ধোঁৱা ওলাব wool জ্বলালে. And the residue of the burned wool is hard. যিটো বস্তু থাকি যাব জ্বলাই দিয়াৰ পাছত, wool জ্বলাই দিয়াৰ পাছত সেইটো বস্তু hard হয়. Then if you burn silk, it will also burn with sooty flame, and the residue will be powdery. So if you burn silk, the residue will be powdery, and it will also be in sooty flame, burn with sooty flame. Now if you burn synthetic fibers like polyester and nylon, it will smell like burning plastic. If you burn polyester, nylon, which are synthetic fibers, it will smell like burning plastic. So polyester, nylon, it will smell like plastic, and the residue will be hard. Okay, now let's discuss some different type of wools. Wool is, we know that wool is obtained from animal hair, animal fleece. So the first one is Kashmiri wool. Kashmiri wool is the finest of all wools, and it is obtained from Kashmiri goats. Kashmiri goats. Then the wool is also known as Pashmina. Kashmir wool is obtained from Kashmir goats that are found in the Jammu and Kashmir region, and this wool is also called as Pashmina. Then yak wool. Yak wool is obtained from yaks. As you can see from the name, yak wool is obtained from yaks, from the yaks found in Ladakh and then Tibet. Then mohair. Mohair is obtained from the hair of Angora goats. Are obtained from Angora goats. Then Angora wool. Angora wool is obtained from Angora rabbits. Then the last one is camel wool. It is obtained from camel. Now the camel wool is extremely soft. It is used, camel wool is used to make footwear, sportswear, robes, coats, etc. Then Angora wool is used to make sweaters. Similarly, yak wool is also used to make sweaters, blankets. Now, in your book you can see the pictures of Angora rabbit, Angora goat, camel, yak, Kashmir goats. Kashmir wool is obtained from Kashmir goats. Yak wool is obtained from yak. Then mohair is obtained from Angora goat. Angora wool is obtained from Angora rabbit, and the camel wool is obtained from camels. Then let's see these questions in your book. Which of these are animal fibers? Which of these are animal fibers? Cotton is obtained from trees. Then silk is obtained from caterpillars. Caterpillars is also an animal, so you can say which of these animals are obtained from fibers. So we will just here tick wool for now. You can also tick silk because it is also obtained from caterpillars. So we will tick silk. Then which of these animals are reared for wool? Goats are reared, rabbits, sheep, and camels. So there are 4 answers. The next one is processing of wool. How wool is extracted from animals and then they are made garments, sweaters, blankets. Now the whole process starts with shearing. Shearing is the first step in the processing of wool. So what does the process is? The wool is taken from the animal in one piece. ধৰি লোৱা এটা শ্বিপৰ পৰা ল'ব, তো শ্বিপটোৰ পৰা এটুকুৰা হিচাপে তাৰ হেয়াৰ বিলাক লৈ লোৱা হ'ব, এক্সট্ৰেক্ট কৰা হ'ব. So this is shearing. Then washing. The extracted wool is then washed because we don't know where the sheep has been. There may be many impurities in the wool, so it is washed. wool khini tumar animalor পৰা লোৱাৰ লগে লগে তাত বহুত লেতেৰা বস্তু থাকিব পাৰে, so they are washed. After washing they are dried. Then after the drying process, the next one is dyeing. It means the wool is dyed with different colors. Suppose someone wants to make yellow color sweaters, so the wool will be dyed with yellow color. So the next one is slivers. After dyeing, the fibers are then rolled over onto one another into fine strands called slivers. Then after doing that, they are gently twisted into rope-like strands through a process called roving. Sliverot ki hol? The fibers are rolled over onto one another. Then after rolling over onto one another, they are gently twisted into rope-like strands. After roving, the strands are combed and prepared for spinning into wool yarn. They are spinned into wool yarn. Then after getting the yarn, after making the yarn, they are knitted into whatever you want. You want sweater, make it into a sweater. So here is in book. See, after drying or doing the color, the slivers and roving, they are made like this. They are rolled over onto one another and they are made like threads. Eta rosir nisina banai pelowa hoy. And after that they are gently combed and they are made eligible for knitting. Knitting কৰিবলৈ সুবিধাযুক্ত কৰি লোৱা হয়. They are made eligible for knitting and it will look like this. Then after that they are made into different type of clothes. Then characteristics of wool fiber. Wool fibers may be soft or rough. Some wool fibers are soft, some are rough. Then woolen fibers, they create air pockets and give wool a spongy feel. The second characteristics is spongy. They have air pockets and it will make you feel like sponge. Then number 3 is wool insulation. Number 3 character is insulation. Wool creates insulation for the wearer as it traps air close to the skin. The body heat warms the trapped air, thus making the wearer feel warm. কি হয়? If you wear a woolen sweater, the sweater will trap the air which is near to your body, near to your skin, and as the air gets trapped, the air will become warm, and as the air becomes warm, you will also feel warm. So this is the third characteristic. The fourth characteristic is elastic. Wool is elastic. If you stretch a wool, it will return to its original position because it is elastic. Then wool absorbs moisture without getting damp. Wool can absorb moisture, very good amount of moisture, without getting damp. Then number 6 is wool is resistant to fire. Resistant to fire means it does not burn easily. The next animal fiber is silk. Silk is believed to be first produced in China nearly 5,000 years ago, but the Chinese people kept it a secret, so the other nations, other countries didn't know about it. But later on, a Chinese princess secretly took some silk moth's eggs with her, and she traveled out of China, and then people outside of China knew about the silk production. Silk is obtained from the caterpillar called silk moth. The caterpillar that produces silk is called silk moth, and the controlled production of silk from silk moth caterpillars is known as sericulture. So now let's see the life cycle of silk moths. There is a silk moth and it lays eggs, hundreds of eggs, hundreds, thousands, any number of eggs, and then the eggs hatch and they hatch into larvae. The larvae are like this but smaller than that. Then after hatching, the larvae or the tiny caterpillars, they eat very much and grow rapidly. They grow big and in very rapidly. Then they eat mulberry leaves. During this period, the baby caterpillars, the tiny caterpillars, shed their skin 4 times. নিজৰ skinখন 4 বাৰ সলায় হেতু stageত. Then after getting 1 month old, after becoming 1 month of age, the caterpillars stop eating and then they secrete a protein fiber from their mouth and wraps it all around them. এটা ধৰি লোৱা কেভৰ নিচিনাকে নিজৰ চাৰিওফালে এটা কেভ এটা বনাই লয় আৰু তাৰ মাজত সোমাই থাকে. Each cocoon is made from a single silk fiber around 1 kilometer long. See, this is the cocoon that they make using their mouth, and inside the cocoon the caterpillar is living. or you can say sleeping. After this stage, the caterpillars then develop into moths, মানে butterfly নিচিনা হৈ যায়, উৰিব পৰা হৈ যায়. And then after few days they fly away and then lays eggs somewhere, and then after the eggs hatch the cycle will complete. So the silk moth caterpillar, the moth lays eggs, the eggs hatch into tiny caterpillars which are called larvae. The larva then forms cocoons, and then from the cocoons the silk moth comes out. মানে কি হয়, এই কোকুনটোৰ মাজতে সিহঁতৰ এটা বায়োলজিক্যাল চেঞ্জ হৈ যায়. ধৰি লোৱা এনেকুৱা দেখিবলৈ এনেকুৱাৰ পৰা from this they become wings, like they having wings creature, wings থাকা প্ৰাণীলৈ ট্ৰেন্সফৰ্ম হৈ যায়. The characteristics of silk. Silk is extremely elastic. It is very smooth and finest of all the fibers. It is extremely elastic, very smooth and finest of all the fibers. Silk can be dyed very easily and it very much shines. Then silk is very strong also and can be stretched almost 25% of its original length. So the characters are, it is very elastic, smooth and finest of all other fibers, then it can be dyed very easily and it shines, then it is very strong. Okay, so with this the chapter will come to an end. I hope you understand. The characteristics of silk. Silk is extremely elastic. It is very smooth and finest of all the fibers. It is extremely elastic, very smooth and finest of all the fibers. Silk can be dyed very easily and it very much shines. Then silk is very strong also and can be stretched almost 25% of its original length. So the characters are, it is very elastic, smooth and finest of all other fibers, then it can be dyed very easily and it shines, then it is very strong. Okay,